Hi, everybody. I'm Mike. This is a bunch of Guns and Gear Reviews, and you are listening to The Right of the People, where we use the first to defend the second every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. So uncover your keyboards and fire up your fingers. Time to join the conversation.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I know I kind of bailed on you Friday, but, you know, it took a little bit of hiatus, and now I'm back, cock-locked and ready to rock. Let's go ahead and set our selector switches to full semi-auto and get this thing a-rolling. Just want to say hello to everybody who's out there on the YouTube side. We got, let's see, early adopters tonight were the Gun Snob and Vanessa Kitty. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Let's see, who do we have that's not on the panel? John Brown, good to see you. Calaveras 32 Special, got the Tactical Pickle in the house. David Bowling, Caleb Popejoy, glad to see all you guys. I appreciate you stopping by. Phoenix, Mateo 674, Gizzard Gary, the Feathered Crusader, glad to see you. Let's see, who else? That's about it. Philo, good to see you guys. Here in the panel, we have the one, the only, the Night Strike. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, and you never go full semi-auto, ever. You never.
Hey,
it's not a good idea.
This is my show. Full semi-auto is as good as we get.
No, you never go full semi-auto. Also, Dave Bowling, you sent me this holster. I like this holster. Yeah, I know it's only the entry-level one. I've heard some 6 come with it, but I like it. And you know what? I may do a video about it. So there you go.
Awesome. And joining us this evening is Ryan from ZRUS Outdoors. How you doing, sir?
Oh, just happy to be here. I could be watching Yankee, but I guess I'll be here.
Well, you know, I could be watching videos of me cleaning my P320, but you know.
Hey, well, you know what? I'm glad that anybody's here, you know. Vanessa Kitty says full semi-auto is reserved for Skynet. Uh-oh.
Yeah, because Skynet went online on my birthday.
I don't want any Terminators sent after me.
Well, you got 11 days. You got 10 days left before that happens.
Hey, is that honestly your birthday, August 29th?
Yes.
Dude, no shit, mine too.
Oh, well, happy birthday a little bit early, gentlemen.
But, you know, August 29th is it's not the day Skynet went online. It's the day Skynet became self-aware and started killing everybody.
Oh, okay. Maybe we need to go back in time and just prevent Night Strike. That's all.
No. Wrong. We have to prevent Skynet. Different.
Oh.
Different.
Oh, well, maybe you are Skynet.
But remember, everyone, if you are listening to this, you are the resistance.
We go back in time and prevent Crocs.
No, we need to go back in time and prevent the NFA and the Huseman.
All right. Well, on topic. Let's we got a little bit to talk about this week. You know, over the past several weeks, we've been talking about how MW Tactical, glad you could join us, sir.
And plug it back in. Plug it back in, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
There he is.
I knew it was too good to be true. Somebody had to have a technical difficulty today.
Yeah, I was rushing to try to set everything up, and I still didn't have my mic plugged in. How's everyone doing tonight?
All right. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
All right. Well, as I said, over the last several weeks, we've been talking about how the body count in Chicago just keeps rising and rising and rising. Every week, it seems there's some sort of absurd number to report of people being shot in the most heavily gun-controlled city in our nation. So starting last week, yeah, if you remember the week before, it was, what, 70 people? Somewhere around 70 people had been shot in Chicago. This past week, as of 13th August 2018, at least 33 shot over weekend in Rahm Emanuel's Chicago. At least 33 people were shot over the most recent weekend in Mayor Rahm Emanuel's Democrat, Chicago. Breitbart News reported that 20 were shot between Friday and Saturday morning, making that time frame the most violent of the weekend. Yet 12 more individuals were shot during the time period of Saturday morning through Sunday morning. Remember, this is last weekend. The Chicago Sun-Times reports the total number of shooting victims as at least 33 for the weekend, noting shooting victims just prior to 5 a.m. Monday. By the way, if you guys look in the description, you'll find links to everything I'm talking about today. One of the weekend shooting victims was a 21-year-old male on a bicycle who was shot 3 times while riding his bike in the 11600 block of South Vincennes Avenue just before 1:30 a.m. He was struck in the leg, the abdomen, and grazed by a 3rd round. Police taped off the area near the incident to investigate. More than 70 individuals were shot in Rahm Emanuel, Chicago during the weekend of August 3rd through 6th, and 11 of those victims succumbed to their injuries. But wait, there's more. On August 15th, Breitbart posted this. At least 6 individuals were shot and a grandmother killed overnight in Mayor Rahm Emanuel, Chicago. The Chicago Tribune reports that the first of the 6 shootings occurred just after 8 p.m. Tuesday night, followed by another shooting about 40 minutes later. The second of those 2 shootings took the life of a grandmother named Estelle Robertson. Robertson was sitting on a couch in a home in the 6400 block of South Hermitage Avenue in West Englewood when a shot fired from the street struck her in the abdomen, fatally wounding her. There was another shooting at 12:45 a.m. Wednesday, followed by a shooting at 1:15 a.m. and another at approximately 3:30 a.m. An 80-year-old woman was also shot while sleeping on Wednesday morning. The bullet hit her in the head, leaving her in serious condition. Oh, but wait, there's more.
Oh, great.
Published today, August 19th, 2018, 3 people shot, 1 assaulted at Peace Picnic in Rahm Emanuel, Chicago. 3 people were shot and another individual was assaulted at a peace picnic in Mayor Rahm Emanuel's Chicago Saturday night. Fox News reports the picnic was held at Seward Park in the city's north side and advertised as a back-to-school peace event. Witnesses said the picnic began very peacefully, then a group of young men, quote-unquote, arrived and violence erupted. The violence came 1 day after 7 individuals were shot in Chicago, including a 3-year-old boy. Now, that's a little bit different from the back-to-school event where violence erupted in Titusville, Florida. What is it that's different? I can't quite... Oh, wait! In Florida, you're allowed to carry a concealed weapon for self-defense, whereas in Chicago, you're not.
Budget, I know where you're going with this. I understand you've got topics, but I have to say something right now.
Sure.
This is getting out of hand, this whole Chicago thing.
Yeah.
I think you and I, and as well as every other law-abiding gun owner, could give 2 shits about Chicago because, look, their draconian gun laws have practically stripped the citizens there of their rights. And you know what? Yeah, they complain and they cry and they moan about how bad the guns are killing people in Chicago. When the fact is that, okay, so gun control hasn't worked. What are you going to do next? Oh, let's do more gun control. Well, if it's proven to not work before, why will doing it even further make a damn lick of difference? Okay?
Well, it's funny. It's funny that you bring that up, Night Strike, because you know what the next article I'm about to read is? And you're probably going to blow a gasket here. This was published on August 16th, a couple days ago. Rahm Emanuel responds to Chicago bloodshed by pushing more gun control. Mayor Rahm Emanuel is responding to the failure of gun control in Chicago by encouraging Illinois residents to urge Governor Bruce Rauner to institute more gun control. Chicago has been the epicenter of gun violence in America for years, a gun control experiment gone wrong. From 1982 to 2010, Chicago had a total ban on handgun ownership. The city's murder rate skyrocketed under the ban. Over 900 homicides per year were recorded in the early 1990s, proving criminals had guns whether the firearms were legal or not. That ban is gone, but law-abiding citizens who wish to get a handgun for home defense have to acquire a state-issue firearms owner identification card. That card allows an Illinois resident... What's that?
I'm against any form of identification.
Oh, absolutely.
To exercise your constitutional right.
That card allows an Illinois resident, including Chicago residents, to buy a gun for self-defense, but it does not allow them to carry the gun on their person. The law-abiding Chicago resident with a FOID card has to go through the requirements and pay the fees for a concealed carry permit in order to carry a gun on his person for self-defense. It should be noted that during this process, the ability to get a firearm is made difficult by the fact that there are approximately 5 gun stores available for Chicago residents to acquire firearms, and those stores impose a 72-hour waiting period, as do gun stores throughout the rest of the state. Moreover, the city of Chicago has a gun violence tax, which raises the price on any gun and every single bullet purchased by law-abiding Chicago residents. Throughout the years of bloodshed in gun-controlled Chicago, Rahm Emanuel has sought to fix the problem by adding even more gun laws and regulations. For example, following the bloody Memorial Day weekend of 2015, a weekend in which 12 individuals were shot and killed and 43 others were wounded, CBS Chicago quoted Emanuel calling for community action, quote, and stronger gun laws. As the criminal use of guns raged in the spring of 2017, Emanuel called for more gun controls on federally licensed firearm dealers. Had this happened, the price for a gun would have necessarily increased again, making firearm ownership cost prohibitive for an even greater number of law-abiding residents. In light of the gun crime currently plaguing Chicago, Emanuel is tweeting for city residents to urge Governor Rayner to sign more gun control. Sick and tired, this is a tweet from Rahm Emanuel, sick and tired of gun violence in our neighborhoods? Let Bruce Rauner know. Tell the governor to sign SB 337, a bill to crack down on illegal gun trafficking. The NRA ILA reports it is already illegal to knowingly sell a gun to anyone in Illinois who lacks a currently valid FOID card or a currently valid license to carry a concealed firearm that has previously been issued in the transferee's name by the Department of State Police under the Firearm Concealed Carry Act. So, Chicago proves that gun control is a failed experiment. It doesn't work worth a crap. There's blood running in the gutters. So let's have more of it.
Well, the problem with Chicago, as I said, instead of, making the punishment fit the crime and actually holding criminals accountable for their actions. And I guess throwing the book and then some at them instead of just letting them out and letting them go and get these guns and shoot these people even more, let's have more gun control instead because, fuck criminals.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing about that is when Emmanuel gets up there, guess what's coming around the corner? Elections. And guess who's going to save everybody from the gun violence? More gun laws. The average null citizen out there is not really thinking how we think when it comes to like buying guns and owning guns and proper gun ownership. They're thinking, gun violence, we need to curb it. We need to curb it.
No. See, gun control is not going to save you from a criminal with a gun. You know what's gonna save you from a criminal with a gun? It's not gun control. It's not a liberal Democrat. Hell, it's not even progressive Democrat. It's not a Democrat at all. It's this. These two right here shall not be infringed.
It's dual wielding.
Dual wielding is going to save your lives.
When in Chicago, dual wield.
No. When in South Carolina.
Mateo 674 says liberalism is a mental disorder, so doing more of what doesn't work is par for the course. We all know the definition of insane.
Sean Connery says it's like a stage 6 mental disorder.
That goes back to what I said last week's show, that if you bring more jobs into the area, it's going to curb that crime spree, because for whatever
that might
reason,
be part of the solution.
Yeah, and for whatever reason they keep talking, they're making it sound like the criminals are going into the gun stores to buy a gun to do the crimes, which we know that's not the case.
Well, and that's the problem. Instead of doing something that might have some positive effect, like lowering some taxes so that they can encourage more businesses to come to these areas and employ more people and help break that cycle of poverty that encourages people to commit crime, they just want to blame the law-abiding gun owners because it's easier and more showy. It doesn't take actually going against their mantra of high taxes and harsh regulation on business. It involves more regulation on people, which is what they love.
Well, that's the easiest way to also to penalize you for funds in courts and to get the free labor from jails.
Mm-hmm. They're not interested in actual solutions, unfortunately. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, you got to keep chaos going so that revenue can continue to come in. So it's like that whole.
That actually makes so much sense.
Yeah. So, it goes back into the old concept of I have to create the problem to come up with a solution for the problem. And then the circle just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, I've never been to Chicago, and I just going off what you said about bringing jobs into Chicago to curb gun violence, I think that may work for a very small fraction, whereas that may still be a small positive. I still think the mentality to be able to go out and shoot somebody or go shoot at somebody does not involve the same mentality it takes to hold a job. You know what I mean? I think those same guys committing these crimes are not really the ones that are like, well, I have a job, maybe I shouldn't shoot this guy. You know what I mean? There's a certain
and there's a that's why I say bringing some jobs into there is part of the solution. I think the other part of it is get actually tough on the criminals that are committing the crimes, the hardcore people who won't be swayed by having better opportunities, who just want to who are dedicated and committed to the thug lifestyle. Get rid of them. Let them know that if they do this, they're going to be gone.
Yeah, you have to make an example. You have to make an example for it to stick, because if you allow people to just, and we also got to understand too that crowded jails is a reason why a lot of this is continuing on as well.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make that example, it's going to keep going. It's just like a child. If you don't correct a child for talking back to you, it's just going to get worse.
Dude, I was just going to make that same example you said about the children. I was going to say about crowded jails. I was going to say when my kids act up, if there ain't enough room in one pen, I'm building another pen. They're both going to sit there and stare at each other.
This is why I'm saying that, maybe we need to reevaluate the prison system in this country, because obviously prison isn't a place that criminals fear. They're not afraid to go to prison.
No, they don't.
And that's the problem. They should be afraid to go to prison.
It's part of doing business.
Prison should be something that they fear, that they don't want to go to. It should be, unfortunately, it should be as bad as the Russian gulags were during the Soviet era. Unfortunately, but it should be a place where no one wants to go anywhere near.
I think you might be a little bit wrong in that aspect of the mentality out there. The mentality is they don't want to go to prison. That's the honest truth. It's they just don't really want to get caught. It's the thinking they can get away with what they're doing that leads to so much crap that you're dealing with up there in Chicago. If the police can't enforce what needs to be enforced, or if they're outnumbered, or if they don't have just the manpower to run the job like it needs to be done, no one's going to get caught. So you got plenty
Part of the problem is with the overcrowding, and I can tell you this personal experience, given what I do for a living, is minor offenses being stuck. I don't know how many times I've seen somebody come in arrested on a minor offense and be stuck there forever, while people arrested on harsh felonies are out within a couple weeks. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, it's just this. For some reason, the left, and I mean the entire left, it doesn't matter whether they're Democrat, whether they're whatever. If they're on the left of the political scale, they have a bleeding heart for the most hardened criminals. When it comes to somebody who commits a white-collar crime or a misdemeanor, it's like, throw the book at them. Give them everything you've got. And it doesn't make any sense.
No. I'm a believer, and even though I am absolutely not hug a thug or coddle a criminal or any of that stuff that goes against everything I stand for, I am a believer in diversion programs for first-time offenders and for small, petty offenders. That helps clear the jails out and saves room for those that really need to be there.
Oh, yeah.
In my local area,
I'm all for it. But if they're a hardened criminal, there's no rehabilitizing that.
No, but
you're never going to get that out of your system.
You need to get to them before they become the hardened criminal. In my local area, we're starting a diversion program that's going to weed out, kids that have status offenses. In other words, offenses that if it were an adult wouldn't be a crime. You know, truancy, runaway, smoking, underage, you know, stupid things like that. We're going to weed them out and not be sending them to jail like we do now.
Yeah, I think that's
way. It reserves it for the people that are there for the grand theft, armed robbery, drug trafficking, felony assaults, murders, rapes. We're going to be keeping those people, and that's what we should do. We should try to divert the low status offenses before they become hardened. Because I've watched it time and again. A kid comes in for just dumb things, you know, at first when he's young, but he keeps coming in. And he keeps getting arrested because there's nothing out there for him to help him try and get out of this. And he keeps being exposed to the hardened criminals, and he just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And that is part of what gives us the problem we have, because by the time they're done with us and they graduate to the adult system, they're boned. They're done.
Now, you know what else plays a part in that, too, is the whole getting arrested for a very small misdemeanor type deal and then getting issued a parole officer and then having to deal with the parole officer the rest of your fucking the rest of your time.
No, I got you.
Well, the rest well, now you're kind of stuck in the system right then and there. The moment you very small offense, you should not be issued a parole officer. If it's a small enough offense, it's be a slap on the wrist, pay a little penalty and go. You know,
I've seen kids on probation keep coming in time and time again because they freaking fart wrong.
Yeah, that's getting tied into the system. That's paying, you know, that's just money. That's all that really is. That's like, okay, this kid's probably a screw up. He's just going to keep making the state money. No, let him off. Let him go. If it was a small offense, something stupid like a small amount of weed or something like that. And I'm not even a weed smoker, but I don't believe that people should be caught on, especially when there's states that are like, hey, it's good to go. Yeah. It don't matter what it is. If they let kids go, if a small offense, do not issue them, you know, parole, or what is it called?
Probation.
Probation. No, there shouldn't be a probation. It's you screwed up. Don't do it again. Get out.
I got an easy fix for all that. All right. So we already know the juvenile process is nothing but a process to keep, like you said, the revolving door for the adults coming back into the system. Yeah. But as a child, what you should do, or what the law should do, is hold the parents accountable. Because if the parents are responsible for the child until the age of 18, hold the parents accountable for the children. So
you'd see a lot of this crap stop.
Yep. And then when you see the children acting up, put that parent in front of the judge and give excessive fines. And now it's going to cut down on all the BS. And now we're going to go back to possibly living in the 80s where everybody was happy, go lucky.
See, there you go, making too much sense again, man.
Hey, you got to do it. Somebody got to do it.
I'd like to take this. I know I kind of ignored him since he hopped on. I know I kind of ignored him since he hopped on, so I want to take this time to welcome Tom Cruise's body double himself. Roll call. How you doing, sir?
Still muted.
Oh, he's not going to talk to me now.
You best. What are you guys doing? You guys are just flying off the handle, and I love it. And
Hashtag.
Say, don't talk to me about flying off the handle. Doo-doo has a show called Rants and Raves.
That's why I love it. That's why I love it. It doesn't
help that me and Roll Call are here, so, you know, just saying.
You know, drama.
Let me tell you this.
Good ratings. Not
and this goes
ratings, but
this goes to Mr. Rahm Emanuel. Their violence is spilling over into my county.
Oh yeah.
And
please expand upon this.
And recently, we've had strings of car break-ins, robberies. We had somebody come up with stolen firearms. And then we had a shooting last night or the night before. Then, prior to that, 2 or 3 weeks ago, somebody who has a Chicago residency shot someone and killed them. So it spills over. So it's just, oh, hold on. They're over here yelling at me. It starts to become a problem when it spills from state to state. The reason why Indiana doesn't have this problem is because you
send all your guns to Chicago.
Oh yeah, we send them all to Chicago. I mean,
Well, that's what they say.
yeah, they accuse Indiana of selling guns unlawfully, this, that, and the other thing. But yet, it's because when you put these kind of penalties that you guys quit it, if you put these kind of guys in that situation that you're talking about, guess what they do? They just trample right over the border, and they come here in my state, and they commit the crimes that they were doing in their state. So in the end, the only way to resolve this is to probably take them out to Arizona and have them shoot each other.
Why they got to go that far?
Because,
they're doing well enough right there in the streets of Chicago, and apparently in your small Indiana town too.
Yeah, but I mean, in all honesty,
because in Arizona, out in the middle of the desert, no one cares.
Oh, okay.
No one will care about them or miss them.
They're looking.
Pretty soon, Arizona will be filled up with dead people instead of nearly dead people.
Nah, there's a lot of buzzards out there. They'll be fine.
I'm gonna put myself on mute because I'm gonna go shoot clay pigeons, but I'm gonna still stay in your guys' chat.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Well, thanks.
Then I'll make a video. No, I'm not leaving. I'm just gonna open up my safe, grab my shotgun, and continue with this great conversation I'm having with you gentlemen and the lovely people.
You need to calm down, all right? You're a little too excited right now.
I know, dude. You been in the Xanax or something?
I'm in the zone, dude. I'm in the zone. Auto zone.
Shut up, you infringed!
You sound like you're trying to be an easy listening DJ.
I could get all wild, but I won't.
Notice how he's getting progressively more mellow. He's gonna go shoot clay pigeons.
Yeah. It's like this. You're listening to 106.1 Easy Listening. That's 106.1 Gun Channels Radio.
Mateo 674 says Chicago, where a woman with 20 plus counts of straw purchasing can get shock probation. So in a year, she can do it all over again. But hey, in Chicago, they have common sense gun laws. Yeah, that's right. That fail. Speaking of common sense and a lack thereof, you guys remember a while back? Well, you may not, because I did take the show down, took the video of it down because I got a copyright claim on it. Because I showed a video of Eric Pratt and Phil Van Cleve. Eric Pratt is the director emeritus of the Gun Owners of America, and Phil Van Cleve is the president of the Virginia Citizens Defense League. Anyway, they were duped by Sacha Baron Cohen into looking like absolute idiots on camera when it come to this kindergartens program, quote unquote. Cohen had posed as a Israeli anti-terror expert, espousing this so-called kindergartens program to arm toddlers. And Larry Pratt fell for it hook, line, and sinker and introduced him to a bunch of politicians who were then duped. And, well, of course, Larry also was laughing uproariously fell out of his chair about that spousal rape joke. And Phil Van Cleve, meanwhile, was capering about singing nursery rhymes while clutching pistols that had stuffed animals mounted on them, all in a quote-unquote training video for these kids. So, this is all part of his new show, Who is America, where he's duping pretty much everybody. Now, to his credit, he is going across the aisle and getting anyone. Vanessa Kitty says, not a discussion on that show again. Oh, yes, a discussion on that show again, because he got yet another fool, and this one is really bad. Sacha Baron Cohen tricks pro-gun group leader into putting sex toy in his mouth by Brooke Seipel on The Hill. In his latest episode of Who is America, Sacha Baron Cohen tricks the leader of pro-gun group into putting a sex toy in his mouth as part of a fake defense strategy to survive beheadings. Disguised as an Israeli terror expert, Aaron Murad, Cohen, quote-unquote, trains Youth Shooters of America President Dan Roberts on how to survive a terrorist beheading by biting the attacker's genitalia and yelling orders. According to its website, Youth Shooters of America is a group that helps organize shooting events, social events, and media coverage for the youth shooting sports. Cohen asks Roberts if the organization is for shooting youth for sport and describes the benefits of arming children. One time in my nephew's school, a man came in and started shouting at them, Cohen says as Murad. The kids take out their guns and bang, bang, bang. That substitute teacher never stood a chance. Right, Roberts replies. 2 of the classmates shot, but mistakes are going to happen, Cohen continues. As part of the quote-unquote training session, Cohen teaches Roberts how to avoid a beheading and how to identify baby suicide bombers hiding explosives in their diapers. During the beheading part of the drill, Cohen holds up a sword and instructs Roberts to, quote, identify the target and, quote, attack as he wears a strap-on to represent the attacker's penis. Roberts bites the sex toy during the drill before yelling, drop your weapons, and my mouth is big enough for 2 of these. Roberts is just the latest to be duped on Cohen's Showtime project. Former Vice President Dick Cheney was duped into signing a waterboard kit, and former Maricopa County, Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio was tricked into saying he would accept oral sex from President Trump. So, yeah. Nest Kitty wants to know what pro-gun group. It is the Youth. Let me go back up here. It is the Youth Shooters of America is the group this guy's the president of.
This sounds like a really low budget porn.
Yeah. I mean, what?
It sounds like something like when you read this and I'm listening to this, it sounds like there's no way this can be real.
You know, I'm kind of sad that they didn't get Sacha Baron Cohen to fill out a fake 4473 just so they can arrest him.
That would have been funny.
That would have been funny. They're like, okay, we'll sell you a gun, but you have to fill out a 4473 and go through a background check.
Now, just as a reminder to everybody, if you want to watch this stuff, I'm not going to play it because I don't want another copyright hit. But I have included links in the description to everything, so feel free to go and check it out. This is just it's bad. What in the hell are these people thinking? Do TV cameras cause people to turn their frickin' brains off? Who in their right goddamn mind is going to bite into a fucking dildo on television?
There it goes, flying off the handle again.
Oh God, I can't believe it. And these people are supposed to be quote unquote representing us as gun owners. I don't.
How is he still there? Like, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how Larry Pratt and Phil Van Cleave are still at their organizations, let alone this guy. All these people that are caught up in this need to go. How can they represent us? Because anytime any political argument's going to take place, all they have to do is cue these videos up, and boom, done. How are you going to defend that? You can't.
You see this, and you think flags are littering the field right now. Like, how is this even still? Are they reviewing the play? Hey, really? Heads would be rolling if I was in charge of this.
I don't get it. But it's bad.
I really wish he had gotten arrested.
It's like something you
filling out a fake 4473. I really do.
Yeah, I was thinking, and on the one hand, you're talking about when he went into that gun shop and the store owner recognized him and was like, "No, get out."
Yeah.
On the one hand, I was glad that the store owner didn't fall for it. On the other, I was thinking the same thing you are. It would have been kind of amusing to see him fill out a 4473 with false information and then get arrested for fraud. That would have been great.
Yeah. Yeah, and then everybody would be using their camera and whatnot and their cell phones to take pictures of him as he's getting arrested, because that would have been perfect.
Yeah. General Relativity says if they're not capable of acceptable conduct, they need to resign. Yeah, they do. I think that's the only decent thing that they could do at this point is resign their positions. But, and as a matter of fact, I wrote that letter to Larry Pratt and Phil Van Cleave, to which I have still not received a response, and I don't anticipate that I will, calling for them to resign. I think this guy needs to resign too. Although Gun Owners of America still sends me emails asking for money all the time.
Yeah, they're not getting it.
No, they're not. They're not getting a dime from me until they drop Pratt.
Because if you really want to help out an organization that's trying to do something, go to guntube.org and check out the store, the Patreon, and whatnot, because guntube.org is doing stuff for the people.
General Relativity says they didn't respond to his letter either. Well, good. I'm glad you wrote one, sir. Thank you for trying to be part of the solution.
Who was it? Warsaw Patriot says the NRA is falling apart. I don't think they're falling apart to the extent that we see on YouTube with a lot of the YouTubers dissing the NRA. I think there's too many fuddy duds out there that are supporting the NRA for them to actually fall apart.
Yeah. But the NRA is eating itself, and it is fracturing because let's use one example, okay? Someone had mentioned that they had gone to NRA, and there was vote for Adam Kraut everywhere, okay? But, who got elected? Well, it wasn't Adam Kraut.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you have that much out there to get people to vote for you, and you don't get voted in, then there's seriously something wrong with the voting process, and it's rigged.
Yeah, well, of course it's rigged. The fix is in, and it's always has been.
Yeah. So NRA relies on FUD dud votes and money. I mean, there's I don't see them falling apart anytime soon. I do see them suffering a little bit, like you just said. I mean, they're not really falling apart, but there's just too many people. And I even talked to my my father-in-law, who got me a lifetime membership, and I had never had any intention on ever investing in the NRA whatsoever. And he just gloats and goes on about the NRA and all this other stuff, and all his buddies do, and everybody I know that invests in the NRA just talks so much highly of it. I think the only time we've ever seen that the NRA was suffering is only on YouTube by YouTubers, which are the newer generation of shooters. I think the NRA basically speaks to the older people, of course.
No, the FUDs are going to have to die off in order for the NRA to change and get rid of Chris Cox, as Warsaw Patriot points out.
Not only Chris Cox, but also Wayne LaPierre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to remember, too, that the NRA was started in 1871. So for them falling apart, the organization to last that long, it's not going nowhere. They probably got a few bad apples in the bunch that are making it rough, but they're going to get through that eventually. But overall, when you sit there and you look at it, they also have their claws and positions to keep certain people in power. So, of course, you have to make it a fair outreach to say we're going to vote for certain people. But if they don't want you, they're not going to take you.
Yeah.
So you're saying, as you said it, if they don't want you, they won't take you, which means they will find some way to rig the elections.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given because the organization is too well established since then to now. I mean, think about it. They know all the loopholes in the bylaws and what they can and what they can't do. So once people starts dying off, or if somebody comes in with a little bit more influence, now you might have more of a say to say, okay, let's try to push it this way. Let's push it that way. But you also got to remember, too, the NRA was involved in a lot of historical events that are behind the scenes that we read about in history books as well.
Yeah. And with the NRA, I chose not to renew my membership this year because of, how the NRA just kind of threw me under the bus because I own a bump stock. So, yeah, we'll throw you under the bus. So, yeah, I didn't renew my NRA membership. And the point is, I would much rather have people join the Gun Owners of America or, even better yet, the Second Amendment Foundation, because
there you go.
They have proven without a shadow of a doubt that they actually are for your constitutional rights, whereas the NRA just banks off of whoever did the work, and the NRA takes credit. But did they actually putting forth any effort or any money to fighting it? No, because there have been more than a couple times that they've taken the credit for things that the Second Amendment Foundation or the GOA have done.
Well, that's happening. that's happening now. As the NRA's, matter of fact, it's I'm going to skip over something that I was going to talk about. We'll talk about this now since it's a perfect segue. This suit out in Washington State that just came through.
Oh, you mean that they're going broke suit? You know,
no, not that one. Not that one. That was out of New York. This is in Washington.
Okay.
Judge sides with NRA Second Amendment Foundation, disqualifies Washington gun control initiative. Now, see, this lawsuit was actually filed first by Alan Gottlieb with the Second Amendment Foundation, yet the NRA horned in and filed their own lawsuit. The one that was ruled on wasn't the NRA suit. It was the Second Amendment Foundation suit, Alan Gottlieb's suit. And the NRA somehow is horning in and oh, yeah, we won. They didn't win shit. Thurston County Superior Court judge sided with the NRA and Second Amendment Foundation, which it wasn't the NRA, it's the SAF's suit, against the gun control ballot initiative in the state of Washington. On July 3rd, Breitbart News reported that the initiative was being presented as a simple attempt to raise the legal age for long gun purchases from 18 to 21. Although an attempt to disqualify 18 to 20-year-olds from exercising their Second Amendments is troubling enough, the reality of the matter is that the bill would have put in place a new system of background checks and myriad other gun controls as well. The NRA ILA listed a few of the controls that the bill would have put in place. Would have created a gun registry for any transfers of commonly owned semi-auto rifles, would have introduced a 10 business day waiting period on the purchase of semi-auto rifles, would have imposed criminal liability on otherwise law-abiding gun owners who failed to store their firearms to state standards, would have increased the age limit to possess or purchase semi-auto firearms from 18 to 21, would have mandated training prior to purchase, and would have authorized a $25 fee to be assessed on semi-automatic rifle purchasers. This fee alone would be a new tax that could be raised after a period of time in order to make the purchase of commonly owned semi-auto firearms cost prohibitive. The NRA and Second Amendment Foundation filed two separate suits against the initiative. The suits were consolidated, and the ruling in favor of both groups was handed down Friday. The NRA ILA's Chris Cox responded to the ruling, saying, "The National Rifle Association is glad to see the court today recognized how negligent, if not worse, gun control advocates were in their signature gathering for this ill-advised ballot initiative. We got involved because the bill tramples on the rights of Washington state voters and because the way these anti-gun activists went about pushing their agenda was egregious. We applaud this decision and will remain vigilant in protecting constitutional freedoms of all Americans." Second Amendment Foundation founder Alan Gottlieb said, "A few billionaires donated millions of dollars to buy the signatures to get this fraudulent initiative on the ballot, but they couldn't buy the court."
This is Washington State, right?
Yes. He also pointed out that the organization behind the initiative push, the Alliance for Gun Responsibility, acted totally irresponsible in circulating this initiative to voters, and it not only cost them millions of wasted dollars, but their credibility as well. So, yeah, this is... You know, the NRA kind of horned in on this action.
I do know that some of those bills, the anti-gun bills in Washington State, the Yankee Marshal actually did go and protest, and he actually video recorded as much as he could.
Yep.
So,
did you guys see Yankee's video on the fundraising numbers here about this lawsuit?
I didn't.
The NRA raised $113,000 or so for this lawsuit and spent $13. Where'd the 100 go? Yankee asks where'd the 100 go? And if you guys can find it, go ahead. I encourage you to watch Yankee's video on this because it's really interesting. And he shows up documents and sources and that of how where the money came from and where it went and all that. So it
went to logistics.
It's interesting.
It went to logistics.
So
yes,
UPS?
Logistics. What's that?
Oh wait, wrong type of logistics. Never mind.
Yeah, so I have to ask the question, where did that money go to? Don't know. Let's see. Someone said, what is this? Someone's selling out our freedom bit by bit. Who was that? Mateo 674 says the NRA has a bad habit of coming in at the 13th hour and tossing minimal money into a fight that is all but won, then walk away claiming the glory as if the victory came because of their efforts. Yeah, no kidding. I've seen
I
them
talked
do
to
that
Wayne.
before.
I talked to Wayne yesterday, and he was a little bit behind on his house payment. That's where the $100,000 went.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay.
maybe not get such an expensive house next time. Saying.
Mateo 674 says Tim Shirts have it right. NRA, not really activists.
Yeah, because wasn't Tim also parading for Adam as well?
I think so. Yep. So yeah, wonderful.
The internal chat.
Let me check that out. Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely right. Go right ahead and do that, Ryan.
Yeah, your call. Whenever I just got that stuff laying around, I figured just might as well.
Okay. Shoot, go ahead and do it now.
Well, I figured we could just have a little giveaway. If you guys want to, anybody in the chat, how do you guys want to do it? I have a AK-47 cleaning mat, just a little mat, those neoprene mats by Useful Thingies. They sent me this out a while back just to start giving them away. So I figured, feeling kind of generous, having a good time, might as well do a little giveaway. And let's see, Night Strike says he has some stickers.
Yeah, I got some stickers.
How do you want to do this?
Well, why don't you do the mat, I'll do the stickers.
Okay, hey, however you want to do it, I don't care. You just want to pick someone randomly, you want to have them answer a question. I like having them answer a question.
Yeah, your call, man. You do it.
Yeah, now I got to go find a freaking question.
Should I open it up and...
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll open it up so you can see it. It's just an AK-47 diagram. There's no way I'm going to be able to put this back in here. I might as well just cut it open. That's it right there. Make that out at all. Pretty good spread. Good enough for a rifle. Small carbine.
Wow, that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, brand new. Just a little giveaway.
Okay, let's see. I'm still looking for questions and answers.
Stickers.
You off at this chat's off at 8, right?
Ish. Yeah. I mean, I can't. I can't stick around too much past that because I have to get ready to go to work tonight.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead and.
Yeah, I didn't mean to jack your
talk
chat.
amongst yourself. No, that's all right. Go ahead.
But yeah, I've had actually one of these on my table here for about almost a year, and I've given them a couple away to a couple YouTubers out there just to have them on their mats while they're doing videos and stuff. But I've spilled all kinds of crap on it, cleaning solutions, everything on it. It's been pretty well, so I wouldn't give it away if it was crap. But I mean, you really can't get these little cleaning mats wrong. I mean, it's as long as they don't start coming apart at the glue or anything like that, they're usually pretty good to go.
Yeah, as soon as I can. My internet's running really slow right now.
Yeah.
Trying to find something.
What are you trying to do? Question and answer or what?
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
Just give an easy question out or something. Or if you want to give a hard question, give a hard question out.
All right, here's what we'll do. We will talk about what happened. Something that happened earlier in the chat. Something we were talking about. How many people were shot over last weekend in Rahm Emanuel's heavily gun-controlled Chicago?
Did you just say
First
that?
one with the answer. Yes, I did. Let's see if anyone was paying attention.
Wow. If anyone was paying attention. Yeah, Mateo says 65. Gizzard Gary says 137.
No.
Atypical
Nope.
Jake
Vanessa
says
Kitty, that was the weekend
37.
before.
Nope, weekend before.
All right, what was the question again?
How many people were shot this past weekend in Chicago?
And it's off of
Oh, I know.
what you said, right?
Yep, and it's off of what we were talking about today.
Is
As
it
a matter of fact, the first story we talked about today.
Is it
Is
in
it 42?
Can I answer? I can't type.
No, you can't.
Come on.
Do you have it in one of the links down
I want
below?
one of those men.
It's in one of the links down below in the description.
Oh, get a cheat sheet.
If you got a link, you know. That means you're exempt.
I know it. I know it.
I don't even know it. I was there.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
I was too busy watching Yankees.
Yeah.
Too funny.
All right, let's see here. The answer's close. Close. Okay, budget.
Yeah.
Are you watching this?
Yeah. Hey, general relativity. He's got it. 33.
Yeah, just take that one.
Got 33?
Get there. Yeah,
33 people. As of August 13th, 33 people shot that weekend in Chicago.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell he wasn't quite on it. He's like higher or lower. 33. Which one is it? Hey. All right.
I was pretty mad.
I guess find ZRUS Outdoors channel on YouTube. If you don't already have me, then go onto my Facebook and PM me your address.
There you go. All right. Night Strike, you run yours, man. You figure out what you're going to do.
I got a whole bunch of stickers here. Just some of mine, some of the ones I've accrued over the ages. I don't know. Budget, give me a question.
I'll go ahead and link my Facebook onto the chat if I can.
I'm not sure if you can.
Well, about to find out.
If not, I'll throw you a wrench.
It is your show budget, so.
Nope, not going to happen. But here, I'll just comment real quick, and you just go straight to my channel. My Facebook is on my channel.
Well, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Let's see. Who is calling?
Okay, in order to get Night Strikes stickers, who was it that Sacha Cohen had bite a sex toy?
Ooh, that's a good one. So
There's a link to that too in the description. Gizzard says some dude. Yeah, that's a little bit much. A little bit vague.
Yeah, you already know the comments on that one are going to be hilarious.
What was the name of the gentleman, the president of the Youth Shooters of America, that Sacha Baron Cohen had bite a sex toy? Atypical Jake says Yankee. No, that wouldn't. I don't think that would be controversial if Yankee did it. I think that would be kind of expected, wouldn't it?
yeah, everybody expects that kind of behavior from Yankee because he lives on the West Coast. So,
Vanessa, yep, that creep from the Youth Gun Club. That's exactly who, but what's his name?
Ooh, technicalities.
Ding, 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 ding. Gizzard Gary's got it. Dan Roberts.
all right, I'll send it to Gary. It's not like he doesn't have already
Feathered
enough.
Feet, get some stickers.
All right, Gary, I'll send them to you. I've got your address already, so don't worry about it.
All right, now let me go ahead. I'm gonna skip some of the good news, although maybe I'll do a single shot on that later. So there was one other thing I wanted to cover, but we'll go past it. I am going to go ahead and end like I usually end with the Self Defense Shoutouts segment. So, without further ado, 15-year-old fatally shoots man choking her mother. From August 2018. 15-year-old girl in Forest City, North Carolina, shot and killed a man last week while he was choking her mother. The Rutherford County District Attorney's Office has already ruled that 15-year-old was justified in shooting Stephen Kelly, her mother's boyfriend, and will face no charges. WBTV reported that Kelly and the mother, Chandra Nirman, sorry if I butchered that one, got into a quarrel and Kelly began choking her. Investigators indicate that Kelly said he was going to cut her throat and kill everyone in the house. Nirman's 12-year-old son retrieved a gun, which his 15-year-old sister used to shoot Kelly. The girl fired 2 rounds, one of which hit Kelly in the chest. Deputies noted that Kelly had threatened Nirman repeatedly and that on August 4th he assaulted her and fired a gun several times inside the home to threaten and terrorize her. Deputies also pointed out that Kelly was a felon who maintained possession of firearms and even carried one on his person, even though he was legally barred from doing so. Kelly had at least 2 active domestic violence protection orders at the time he was killed. Both orders were tied to women in Indiana and Ohio. So good for her. You know, I hate that young girl was forced to go to such lengths, defend her mother, but I'm glad she had the means, method, and opportunity to do so.
One less scumbag.
That's right. Armed robber shot, killed by 2 civilians at convenience store. This is by Fox 59 Web on August 11th, 2018, updated August 12th. Police believe 2 customers shot an armed robber at a get-go on the northeast side of town this evening. Police received a call around 6:30 p.m. about an armed man attempting to rob the convenience store located near the intersection of Pendleton Pike and Shadeland Avenue. Police say the man arrived at the get-go in a stolen vehicle. When the man pulled out a gun, police believe 2 armed customers fired multiple shots at the suspect. IMPD found the suspect in critical condition from a gunshot wound. EMS transported him, but he was pronounced dead at the hospital. And in yet another, he has a gun. Armed pharmacist chases off would-be robbers. From Salisbury Daily Times from August 14th. Updated August 17th. A pharmacist at Princess Anne's Caremore Pharmacy foiled a pair of armed robbers Monday afternoon. Wasim Amir, owner of the Caremore, said 2 men wearing ski masks walked into the pharmacy on Somerset Avenue. One of the men, who looked to be about 6 feet tall, was carrying what appeared to be an assault-style rifle, Amir said. Tuesday afternoon, the Princess Anne police charged Cody Allen King, 22, and Justin Michael Bull, 22, both of Princess Anne, in conjunction with the attempted armed robbery. According to a press release from the Princess Anne Police Department, both men are charged with armed robbery, and conspiracy to commit armed robbery. Amir was sitting in his office when the suspects entered the pharmacy, but looked up when he heard some commotion. The man with the rifle ordered everyone down on the ground, Amir said, including one customer, a woman who happened to be in the store. When Amir realized the robbery was in progress, he said he took his revolver out of a desk drawer and started to walk out into the shop holding the handgun. He was met by the would-be robber who pointed the rifle at him, he said. I don't know much about guns, said Amir, but it was a big gun and looked like an assault weapon. When he saw my revolver, he yelled to the other man to run, saying he's got a gun, and both of them started running away. I fired once in their direction, but it doesn't seem like anyone was hit. Amir said the bullet left a hole in the front window of the pharmacy. While this was taking place, other staff pushed the panic button to call the police. Princess Anne police said officers were dispatched about 3 p.m. to the pharmacy, where they determined 2 armed white males had entered and demanded prescription medications. Police determined there were no injuries and no property was taken by the suspects. The glass window in front of the pharmacy was replaced before lunchtime Tuesday. Investigation is continuing, said the police. Let's see. And there we go. He used his gun to scare those guys off and nobody was hurt. Good for him. And last but not least, 79-year-old homeowner greets alleged intruder with shotgun blast to both legs. From August 18th, so from yesterday. The 79-year-old homeowner in Benzie County, Michigan, greeted an alleged intruder with a shotgun blast to both legs. Up North Live reports that the homeowner heard strange noises in his barn before 11:30 p.m. Tuesday night. He armed himself and went to investigate. Once inside the barn, he confronted an alleged intruder, ordering him off his property. At that point, the homeowner said the suspect allegedly came at him in a threatening manner, so he fired the shotgun, hitting the suspect in both legs. The Record Eagle reports that Benzie County Sheriff's deputies arrived and had the 37-year-old suspect transported to Munson Medical Center. Benzie County Sheriff Ted Schendel said the suspect was hit with birdshot. The Benzie County Sheriff's Office indicated that the suspect would be arrested once released from the hospital. So once again, I'm not celebrating the death or injury of anyone. I am celebrating the continued life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness of somebody who had the means, method, and opportunity to protect such from those who would deprive them of it. And as always, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by and spending this time with us. I know it's not normally the time and day that I do this, and I appreciate you coming by to be part of the conversation anyway. Speaking of appreciate you guys coming by, everybody in the panel, I want to say thank you to you guys. Let's go ahead and run through the panel and see if you have anything that you want to say. Mike from MW Tactical, anything you'd like to say, sir?
You're muted.
You're muted.
I'm just sitting right here talking away. Not even realizing my mic was on. But first of all, I wanted to sit back and say thank you for sending out the link and inviting me to be on tonight. I want to go ahead and continue on with every Tuesday. I put out a video on Gunstreamer, GunTube, OogeTube, and YouTube. So if you haven't done so, please go by and subscribe and like the content if you like it. If you don't, hit the thumbs down. It doesn't matter. But either way, go check it out. If you go on Gunstreamer, I'm Munitions, Weapons, Tactical. On every other one, YouTube, GunTube, and OogeTube, is M-W Tactical. Go to Instagram and Facebook. Follow me there, M-W Tactical. And we're also doing a GoFundMe campaign to raise money to put law enforcement officers through jiu-jitsu training for a year, start a kids' summer youth camp, and getting people out to vote. So if you go to GoFundMe.com/M-W Tactical, it would be appreciated for all you can donate.
All right, there you have it, folks. Go to MW Tactical. Check it out. Night Strike, anything you'd like to say, sir?
Shut up, be infringed!
Gonna say now's your time.
And yeah, check out guntube.org. And don't miss even more ranting and raving discussions on Hit or Miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock.
Roll call. Anything you'd like to leave us with, sir?
Yeah, man. Check out my channel, Roll Call 219. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Gunstreamer and Instagram. I've been throwing some pictures up there. I do have a PayPal account. If you want any information, you can email me. My emails should be on my channel name, and you can donate to my channel so I can buy some more rounds and shoot shotgun, clay pigeons, and miss all day.
Roll call at
Brian, ZRS Outdoors. Anything you'd like to say, sir?
Yeah, if you're following my channel, if not, ZRUS Outdoors. It's in the chat there. Also, we're going to be doing a giveaway here soon. I'm sponsored by gunadapters.com. If you're not familiar with them, they sell shotgun adapters for various shotguns, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 410. Basically, you can shove this adapter into your shotgun, shove 9mm, 22, 45 ACP, 38 special, all kinds of pistol caliber adapters in there. What we're going to be giving away is their Scout pack here. And this is about a $450 value right here. These are 8-inch rifled adapters for anything between 17 HMR, 22 LR, 45 ACP, 9mm, 45 Colt. This is going to be first place prize.
Damn.
Second place prize is going to be about a, not sure what the value on this one, but it allows you to shoot 3-inch rifled adapter, 9mm, 2 3/4 rifle, 22 LR. Smooth bore 410 45 Colt adapter will be second place, and then third place will be this stack and pack kit right here. This is basically just one little stack and pack kit. Allows you to shoot 12 gauge to 20, 20 to 410, and then 410 to 22 LR for your either single shot. If you have a 3-inch chamber, you can use this. A lot of these other 8-inch ones right here will be for something like a single shot right here. Just shove that in there, and you're getting just about as good velocity as like a 22 LR or a carbine style 9mm or something like that. So we're going to be doing that giveaway soon here. Again, sponsored by Gun Adapters. They're providing all these for my viewers to have the chance to win, I guess. Not sure exactly when it's going to have a video coming out soon on it. And if you want to check me out again, it's zrusoutdoors.com. From there, go on to my channel. You can find our Instagram, our Facebook, and that's all I got for as far as my social media goes. Just Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. But I will
all right. Well, everybody, go check that out for sure. That's a hell of a giveaway right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and as always, you know, I want to leave you guys with encouraging you to support the Second Amendment Foundation. 80% of existing pro-gun case law stems from Second Amendment Foundation cases. They are absolutely out there doing everything they can to fight for your rights. Let's give them a little bit of support. Become a life member. It's only $150. Yearly is $15. You know, don't go to McDonald's a couple times, and there you go. You have you've helped support the people who are absolutely supporting you. And as always, contact your elected representatives and Congress critters. Let them know what you think. Right now, we need to make sure that we get Kavanaugh confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. So contact your senators. Let them know. Smoke signals, carrier pigeons, heliograph, telegraph, anything that you can do to let them know, let them know. Never, ever, ever give up the fight.